This paper is important because it will help everyone think about our relationship with our world. We through history have talked about the atmosphere, the land, and now we need to talk about the ocean in the singular. And we need to understand our relationship with the ocean, how it supports us, and what we need to support it into the future, so that we can gain the benefits in the future that we've taken for granted up to now. So the narrative is really getting us to understand about that relationship and express it in really very simple terms.
This paper is important because it presents a shared narrative for protecting the ocean and represents a starting point in creating a more sustainable and equitable ocean future in a post-COVID-19 world.
It summarizes in a clear fashion how much our lives depend on the ocean and how urgent it becomes to take action now.
It helps us recognize how relevant a healthy ocean is to our lives and to our planet.
It shows how the pandemic has changed society, and it shows how radically we can improve things in the way we manage the ocean.
We need to be approaching these global scale problems holistically as a whole. Climate action is ocean action. They're inextricably linked. We won't be able to change our planet for the better if we don't manage our activities in our ocean better.
I think the most important thing people should understand about the ocean is that it is both the heart and the lungs of our planet, but that it is highly vulnerable.
In our day-to-day busy lives, we might not give it a second thought, but we really are the blue planet, and the ocean is the blue heart of the matter when it comes to how our planet works. And so the single most important thing to take away from this is if we want to thrive and flourish in the future and live in more harmony with nature, then the ocean's got to be a really big part of that new agenda.
For me, the most important thing about the ocean is that it connects us all through the air we breathe, the food we eat, and its incredible beauty. We depend on the ocean, and its fate depends on us.
I think one of the most important things people need to understand about the ocean is its enormous capacity for recovery. So when damaging practices are removed, life comes bounding back.
I think the ocean is a long way from some of our lives. So I, for instance, don't get to see the ocean half as much as I wish I did. So it's really difficult for people to understand how the ocean affects their everyday life. But the ocean is responsible for our health. It provides so much food, all of the shipping that goes onto our ocean. Ocean activities are very much intermingled with our everyday lives. And that's perhaps something we don't understand as much as we should as individuals.
What I'd like organizations and people to do as a result of this paper is come together and talk in more of a single voice about the ocean and what it does for us. And also to bring that together as we have in the narrative, with not just looking after the organisms that live in the ocean, but looking after the ocean because it looks after us in terms of climate. So the important thing here is really to move to a much more shared agenda, a shared vision about how we relate to the ocean, how we talk about the ocean, and what we do about the ocean in the future to make it the blue heart of everything that we need to do.
Now is the time for action. The ocean is part of the solution. Let's recognize and use all that we know to protect and sustain the ocean and the prosperity it brings to our planet.
We have a limited window for action, and we need scientists, people, society as large, the private sector, decision maker to work together in the same direction.
I would like to see concerted joined-up action by policymakers, governments, scientists, campaign groups and the general public to make ocean protection and conservation at the forefront of the global agenda.
The economic benefit we get from our ocean is huge. Economically, It's the 7th largest nation on the planet in terms of economy, if we thought of our ocean in that way. So there are a lot of strong economical arguments for preserving our ocean functions.
Communication is really important for ocean science because many people don't engage with the ocean. They don't know how crucial it is for life on the whole planet. So clearly we need to communicate those facts to the general public effectively.
For me, this paper comes at a critical time in our thinking. The world has literally been shut down by a pandemic that shows how close and uneasy our relationship has become with nature. If we're going to build back greener or bluer, if you like, then we're going to have to look at how we relate to the major systems that keep this planet running. And a major emission in that has been the ocean. So this narrative should help everyone to understand what that positioning should look like and how to talk about it in the future as we grow back bluer or greener.
How we talk about the ocean matters. We have one ocean. It's time to move forward as one global community to protect and sustain all the benefits it provides.
Communication is important for ocean science because the evidence is there. We know how much the ocean is important, we know how much it is threatened, and we know we must take action now. But for this action to happen, for policymakers and decision makers to take action, they need the support of civil society.
Because many people outside of the scientific community feel disconnected from the ocean, not realising the benefits it provides and why protection is so important.
And the word ocean, it's interconnected. It's one health, one ocean. It's so crucial in our mindset of how we approach the activities that need to go on.
So what can this paper do for all of us? Well, I guess if we look back in history, we look at previous generations, we judge them, and we go, if only they had done this or they hadn't done that. But our generation is different. We've got more analytical power, more knowledge, more information than any of the previous generations. And I hope that they'll look back at this generation and say, do you know what? They were smart. They worked out what they needed to do. And what I hope is that this paper will enable us to make a leap in that direction by really reconnecting us to the ocean, to the lifeblood of this planet, and what we must do, what we need to do in the coming years to protect that system that effectively keeps our planet the way it is and keeps us all alive.